There's going to be the top 5 stupidest topics that Mike has picked for the show. And this next topic is going to be on that list.
I disagree, Bull. The Cavs finally made a signing. Whether you like it or not, it took.
Does this count as a signing?
Oh, it does. Oh, absolutely.
Jason says it doesn't.
It does. Because you know why? It's not someone who is currently on the team. The Cavs went outside of the roster, went outside of the country. They went to South Sudan to bring over JT Thor on a 2-way contract. Thor, probably a guy you never heard of. So I'll give you the quick bio on JT Thor.
Oh, very excited.
Played at Auburn.
Is he the god of thunder?
If he dunks, he may. I'm
right.
sure one of the broadcasters in Cleveland will make that joke
Yeah.
if he gets a dunk. He played on the South Sudan Olympic team.
Yeah.
Played pretty well. South Sudan had an impressive performance and showing, considering their status in the world. He was on Charlotte last year. What?
You're very insulting to South Sudan there.
They were the lowest ranked FIBA team in the Olympic pool.
Okay, fair enough.
And they had a great showing.
They played, didn't we only beat them by like 1 point?
In an exhibition game, that would beat them by more in the actual tournament. But they were by far the lowest FIBA-ranked team in the Olympic pool.
All right.
He was on Charlotte last year,
Yeah.
and in the last game of the season, the game the Cavs tanked so they could face Orlando, JT Thor was part of the 5-man rotation for Charlotte that led the massive comeback in the fourth quarter. He had 21 points in that game. Jason, it's a 2-way contract for Thor. He joins Imani Bates and Luke Travers as the Cavs' 2-way players. If you had to bet on one of these guys to be a hit, who you betting on to be a hit this year, Jason? Travers or Imani Bates?
You going to make it?
I think so.
What just happened?
I mean, the question is, which of the Cavs' 3 2-way players has the best chance of making it? Who you betting on, Jason? You got to lay that house money.
You got a quarter?
Yeah.
I can flip.
Imani Bates, JT Thor. Oh, Luke Travers isn't even officially a 2-way
No,
player.
he's not yet. He probably will be, but he's not yet.
We couldn't get a better picture of JT Thor than this? What kind of picture is that?
Not a ton of pictures of him playing on USA Today. So.
Oh, my God.
Well, here's what I'm going to give you guys.
I was looking up Luke Travers' age real quick because I didn't know how old he was. He's 22.
Go ahead, Mike.
It helps to have connections all over the basketball world, right?
Yeah.
One of my boys is the director of basketball operations at Auburn.
Okay.
So I hit him up. I said, Burgo, we're talking JT Thor on the show tomorrow. Give me something on JT Thor.
Did he laugh?
No,
Yeah,
it's his
right.
guy. But I'm going to read you the exact scout. My guy
Yeah.
Burgo sent me the scouting report from a guy who coached him for a year at Auburn. Great kid. Can go left, likes to go left when he drives. It has a nice stroke. He's long, versatile defender that can make some plays on that end of the court and can block shots. Way more athletic than he gets credit for, and he's considered pretty athletic, but he always surprised us with some of the things he could do athletically. Played his senior year of high school in Atlanta, but he spent some time growing up in Nebraska and Alaska. So there's your JT Thor scouting report.
Nebraska and Alaska. All right, the big JT Thor. You excited about JT Thor?
No.
Had you ever heard of him before this week?
Yeah, just from the Olympics, but I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert.
Had you
on
heard
the
of
guy.
him before the Olympics?
No, I don't think I had. Mike, had you heard of him? I don't think I'd heard
Yeah,
of him.
because he
before
played
the
at
Olympics.
Auburn, and I follow Auburn because my buddy
Because
coaches
of your
there.
guy.
How
How tall is he? How tall is Thor?
He's 6'10", long, athletic. He gives them a little.
I mean, if you're going to make me answer this question, I'll say him.
Listen, he's a giant project.
Yeah.
Like, he is a giant project. But from a physical standpoint,
Yeah.
he gives them something they don't really have, which is a big athletic.
Size, yeah.
Yeah, size and athleticism with size, who, theoretically speaking, can shoot. Hasn't proven it yet, but theoretically,
How much has he played in the NBA?
not a ton, but hold on.
And how old is he?
21.
Okay, so he's a youngin.
Yeah, super young. He listed at 6'10", 210. He's played 165 NBA games.
All right. And what's his career shooting percentage?
Career shooting percentage,
Yeah.
32% from three, 42% from the floor, averages 3.2 points for his career on Charlotte.
Why'd Charlotte let him go?
Gun to my head, if Mike's going to make me pick one of these guys, I would take Thor just because of his size. Like
Okay.
I think Imani Bates is still at least a year away, minimum, to have any sort of realistic chance at an NBA career.
Yeah.
Luke Travers, we just haven't seen. It's hard to pick a guy you just haven't. He's never played an NBA game. He's been in Australia.
Yeah.
It is interesting, Jason. I don't know if you saw, but Gershon Yabusele signed with the Sixers on a 1-year, $2 million contract. That was the guy in France.
Yeah, we were talking about
dunked
him.
on LeBron. We talked about him as a possibility.
Yeah.
For essentially the same amount of money. I don't know what Thor's exact financial part of a two-way contract is, but for $2 million, that's literally nothing. They seem to have their choice between Yabusele and Thor. They went Thor over Gershon, who Kenny Atkinson coached, which means, at least to me, they saw something in Thor that they liked a lot.
Yeah.
Mike, percentage chance Thor becomes a legitimate part of the Cavs bench in the next 2 years?
It's probably going to be higher than I think you would expect me to say. I'll say 25%.
I was going to say about 15%.
And the reason?
And percentage chance, hold on before you give me the reason. Percentage chance that Imani Bates does it in the next 2 years?
15.
Okay.
20, 15, 20.
All right.
The reason I say Thor has a higher percentage chance, they have no depth in the front court. Literally none. They're
Right.
two backup bigs right now.
Mike and I talked about that on the podcast.
Dean Wade and George Niang. Dean Wade can't stay healthy. If you get anything from George Niang or you get nothing from George Niang, it's a complete toss-up. We have no idea. So Thor, theoretically speaking, has a much easier path to being a contributor.
Who was the big man they signed last year who just never played all year? Didn't they sign a free agent? Or
Damian Jones.
Is that who it was?
The backup center?
Yeah.
He was on the team last year.
He played a little bit. They drafted Khalifa Diop.
I must be thinking. Maybe it wasn't a center.
Tristan
I don't
Thompson?
know. Who was the guy that Earl thought was going to be a good free agent signing who didn't play all
Ty
year?
Jerome.
He's a guard, though,
He's
right?
a guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guard. He didn't play
There
all.
was another guy. What happened? Is Ty Jerome still on the team?
He may have had his foot amputated for all we know.
He was not even on the bench ever, Jason.
Yeah, I
last
know.
year. All the games we went to, you would see the
What
G League
happened?
guys coming up there, the injured guys sit with him on the bench. He wasn't around.
Did anybody even
at
ask
all.
where he was?
I didn't. I'm not around that much.
Why didn't any of the beat reporters ever ask where he was?
Well, they
I'm
ruled
sure
him
they
out,
did, but-
So yeah, they could have done it when I just wasn't around.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was very strange.
All right.
The whole thing was very strange.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about the addition of JT Thor?
Negative 2.5.
Mike?
I'll give it a 2.
Really?
I'll give it a 2. Hey, he's got a great nickname. His nickname on Pro Basketball Reference Bowl, as
Yeah.
you alluded to earlier, the God of Thunder. So I'm excited.
I mean,
The fact
that was put together pretty well.
He's a big dude. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He has the physical tools to be a
Hey, the Cavs have done a nice job of finding guys on the margins and developing them into useful pieces. Maybe this is the next one, but I can't sit here on August 19th and tell you I'm excited about this.
How could you be?
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody would
it's not the splash move a lot of Cavs fans were
No.
hoping for this summer.
No, so the Cavs are not going to sign anybody, right? I mean, this guy's a two-way contract. They're not signing any player to an NBA contract. Is that fair?
I mean, they got to figure out the Okoro thing. They still have to.
Yeah, what is
figure-
happening with that? Like, what is the status of that? It's been months now.
I'll let Jason take the lead on that.
What is happening?
Well, a lot of times when you get to this point and there's still not something done, I've used 2 examples of Cavs in recent past. A lot of times it winds up in trade. We saw it with Colin Sexton on his way out when they didn't come to terms.
Yeah.
And he was part of the Donovan trade, and we saw it with Lowry Markkanen coming in. Those were late August, early September type moves. They couldn't come to terms with their current team as a restricted free agent, and so they moved on. That very well could be the case here. I think Isaac's best path is to take the qualifying offer. Just take the qualifying offer, come back for 1 more year, and then go into unrestricted free agency next summer.
Would you like the Cavs to trade him? Is there somebody they could trade him
I
for
don't know
that's
what the
interesting?
market. I don't know.
Is it
what the
Dorian
market-
Finney-Smith that we talked about last week?
I don't know what the market is for Okoro.
Yeah.
Like it's
No, he can't have much value.
no. Mike and I talked about it.
Yeah.
I really thought he was setting himself up for a big payday if he had a good postseason run. He did not.
Yeah.
And now this is the position that he finds himself in. There's not a lot of teams out there that's a good fit for him. So this has to be resolved. I think, what is it, August 19th that we say it was?
Yeah.
I would think that we'll have resolution to this within the next couple of weeks. And that's not based on anything other than the calendar and history as an indicator of usually late August, early September is when these things sort of get sorted out before teams get to camp at the end of September.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, it looks like the Okoro thing's will be settled in the next couple of weeks. We'll wait to see if that turns into a trade. But if it doesn't, if he just comes back, then the Cavs will have basically the exact same roster.
I mean, they're telling you that they felt like the coach is what
they're blaming the coach
was.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And we talked before in the show. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and I wrote about how I do think that the tax is a real thing, and trying to stay out of the tax one more year, starting that clock next season. If they can stay out of the tax this year, that would be really big for them.
Yeah.
In terms of repeat offender, and you're worried about things 4 years out from now, but it's still, like, they very much clearly believe that this core can keep this team together
Right.
for the foreseeable future. And even if they make a Jared Allen trade down the road or whatever, but
Right.
they're going to keep this thing together for now. And they feel like they have a long runway that they can be a team to contend for the next several years.
Hey, the Celtics were patient.
Yeah.
Again,
Their top-end talent was better than I think this team's top-end talent.
for sure.
But there's something to be said for staying patient to who you are and letting this thing, letting them develop, letting them grow together, and taking your chances.
Isn't it really just Donovan Mitchell's right up there with those guys, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the second player that's the problem.
Yeah, and Donovan's not big. Those guys are both big.
That's true.
They're both
that's fair,
they're
but
long and athletic. This team is not.
As negative as I've been about this team at times, and as much as I screamed and yelled as much as anybody about making trades, I am curious to see if this team stays healthy with this coach, what they could look like.
You're gonna
I'm
find
curious.
out. You're gonna
I'm curious.
find out.
So I'm actually, last year I was like, I'm not watching the regular season, and I'm not saying I'm going to be locked in every game because it's regular season NBA. But anytime they play a good team, I'm going to be interested at least. So we'll see. All right, Mike, what do you got?